partly because I
I'm a
believe
shark attack, bitch. You ever seen one in the summer? It's getting dark, mark the coordinates, cause here I come to rip the track to shreds until it motherfucking slumbers. Now that I'm fed, I'm done to bring the thunder, cut the strings and beat the drummer.
Hello, my name is Jaden. You're watching the beginning of a series called Thoughts from a Balcony. This series was inspired after some life events occurred, and I realized I need to understand myself better. So, first of all, I understand the audio is kind of shitty. I went to Walmart like 2 hours ago and bought this mic and then drove up into the mountains. So this is my first time even trying it out. I'll work on it, but at least you can hear the words that I'm going to say. So, Thoughts from a Balcony. The inspiration for that name came from when I was living in an apartment complex and I had a balcony and I wanted to give my thoughts and I wanted to do it on my balcony. I no longer live in that apartment complex, so I can't do that, but I still like the name. It also has to do with the Mac Miller song too. But this is a really low effort, low budget sort of thing that I'm doing here. So watch at your leisure. I'm probably gonna cut and edit this shit, and I don't know. I've never really been in front of a camera before, so just enjoy it if you want to. So, Thoughts from a Balcony. The whole point of this is to speak through what is going on inside my head. I have been journaling, and that helps, but I wanted to have a different format. I wanted to have something where I'm speaking, maybe teaching, maybe ranting, whatever. I think this will just help me understand myself better. I have no goals. I don't have something like I want to like become famous off of this or make money off of this. This is just something for me to focus on, something for me to do. So, when I first thought about this series, I thought for volume 0, episode 0, whatever, it would be about who I am. And that's still what it's going to be about, but I'm also going to include purpose in there because I don't know, I've been pondering a lot on purpose lately. So hopefully it's not too long. Yeah, so let's see. Who am I? So I'm a 23-year-old dude, lives in the United States, graduated with a degree in computer science. I work in a related field, and the job that I have is cool. It's a good job. I enjoy it. I wouldn't call it fulfilling, to be honest, but it pays the bills, and that is part of what matters in a job. That actually is probably the most important thing in terms of a job, is that it pays your bills. Let's see. I like to focus on my health and my fitness routine, my diet. I'm very heavily influenced by the internet, and as you know, there's a large crowd of individuals who are self-improvement gurus, and they have a lot of good information, and I follow a lot of them, and I train what they suggest. I research, I try things out. I enjoy working on my health and fitness. Let's see, what else? I wrote down here material objects. What do I mean by that? It's a good question. I like material objects. I have some. I like my truck. It's fun. I like having a good amount of things around me, just like anybody else. On my free time, I like to hang out with my buddies. I'm pretty big into UFC, but you know, I couldn't even name you all the weight classes and what weights they were if I tried. So I'm not really that big into it. I like being outside. I like yeah, I mean, you get it. Everything I'm saying to you is basic ass shit. Everything that I'm saying to you about who I am, approximately every other single human on this earth would give the same answer. And I find that interesting. When I try to tell you who I am, all I can tell you is this very basic bullshit. So, what made me? What influenced me? I mean, this kind of goes into purpose a little bit. What made me was my great parents who raised me, my brother, my older brother, who went through all the bullshit, and I learned from all his mistakes. Um, he's been a great influence on me. Um, music, obviously. I love forms of self-expression. I love music. I love poetry. I love books. All of these things are wonderful, beautiful forms of self-expression, and I love watching people express themselves fully. And I've dabbled in these forms of self-expression. I've tried to create art, but it's like when I try to draw like a straight line or something, my hand doesn't know what to do. It adds squiggles, so I'm not really good at art. I've created some music before, and it was okay, in my opinion, but nothing astounding, you know. So what I'm doing here is the newest trial of self-expression, which is just talking. So this is fun. I'm enjoying it so far. Um, yeah, for a long time I just journaled, just talked to myself, just uh, had very specific conversations with specific people to try to understand who I am in my eyes and in their eyes. And a big thing is that I just don't think a mirror is enough for me at this point. Being able to look in a mirror and be like, this is who you are. Bugs. I came out here earlier. I've been out here probably 30 minutes. Started hearing rattlesnakes. Almost left. Shit was terrifying. But I'm still here. Anyways, a mirror. A mirror is good. You look at it, you can see yourself. You can derealize if you really try. I think I just heard a turkey. Man, I love nature. Um, you can derealize, you can stare into your own eyeballs until you're like confused about what a human is. But fuck. Sorry. Jesus. But I don't think a mirror is enough anymore for me. Not all the time, at least. In order to understand who I am, I have to be able to talk through my thoughts. And that's what I'm trying to do here. A large part of who I am is lost to myself. I have found myself these past few years sort of numbing my own thoughts, dealing with any sort of pain and despair by just drugs, alcohol, scrolling, which is social media is the worst drug I've ever tried. That shit is addictive as fuck. It makes you lose whoever you think you might be, and it's it's actually, it feels so poisonous. So I'm trying to separate myself from that, and in that I'm doing this. This is sort of like a peeling back of who I am to myself. So that's who I am. I don't really know. Okay. Um, but let's look at the idea of a purpose real quick. I used to hate the idea of having a purpose. Like the idea of a purpose. Where the fuck is this page? God damn. There it is. Okay. The idea of a purpose for like 4 or 5 years now. I'm 23, so 18, 19. The idea of a purpose pissed me off. I hated thinking that I should have a purpose, or I do have a purpose, or that we all have a purpose. I liked thinking that we were all put on this planet by chance. And the idea of a purpose is just cope to deal with the endless free fall that life is. And I kind of still feel that way. Why do I need a purpose? I mean, I'm just put on this planet like the rest of you, and you're telling me I'm given this free will to do what I want with my body, and I have to discover or be told what it is I should do with my time and my money and my thoughts and my free will. I hate that. I don't know. It feels so confining. A purpose is stupid. But at the same time, trying to live life without a purpose can be tolling. It can be taxing on the mind. Everything starts to feel sort of useless. Why should I try if there's no real reason to? So I've decided within the past few months that I'm going to entertain the idea of a purpose, whether it is a divinely inspired purpose or it is a self-imposed purpose. Doesn't really matter. I'm at this point in time of the school of thought that my purpose is self-imposed, just so I can, I don't know, do something with my time. Might as well, right? Might as well give yourself a purpose. So when I look at purposes, when I look at my purpose with my life, I like to look at it as layers. There's layers of purpose. Because I do have desires, I do have dreams, I do have goals. And I guess my purpose would be to fulfill those desires and dreams and goals. And those desires and dreams and goals have manifested in layers. So the first layer of purpose that I recall encountering was academic excellence. I wanted to be like so smart. I wanted to get great grades, and I wanted to just achieve so well. Why did I want to do that? Well, I don't know. The whole school system is, brought to you by the government, and it's you're born and you're placed on this ladder to begin with. And it's like, why? Might as well, do my best to climb to the top of this ladder. So that's one of the reasons that was my purpose for a long time. The other reason was basically for happiness. My dad worked and still works a blue collar job, and he was smart enough to bring me on the job site enough as a kid to make me realize how much ass cheeks a blue collar job is. And that's not to diss on blue collar at all, because sometimes I have days where I wish I was. You know, it's just it's more physical labor, and that's good. But every time I went on the job site, what I was doing was cleaning up the site and sweeping, and uh, you know, being told to move faster, do more, and I was exhausted by the end of it. You know, one time I went to the job site, I left with nails, with holes from nails in my feet, and I was like, dude, this sucks. Like, is this what my life has to be? And the answer is no. Your life does not have to be that way. And for me, what I did was chase academic excellence, get a college degree. Now I got a cushy office job that fucking numbs my brain. It's all give and take. But anyways, that was the first layer. And now that I sort of satisfied that layer, I guess, it's time to move on to the next layer, which would be, let's see, so many damn bugs. I wrote down, find a wife, build a family, or move on from the need of one. That's something I'm still focusing on. And that's something that has controlled my life for so long. That, I got into a long-term relationship at like 16, 15, 16. Didn't work out. Got into a few other relationships. Didn't work out. And it's provided me the opportunity to reevaluate that goal. I think having a family is a great thing. I think having a significant other is a great thing. For one reason or another, that's not where I'm at right now. And it's not that I've moved on from the idea of it, but it's more that I've let go of the need for it, which is actually really freeing. I still value human connection. I would still like to raise children and move my bloodline forward. I do believe that is something that every man and woman should aspire to do. But whether they do or not, that's their choice. But yeah, I saw myself at this age having a wife, maybe having kids, or thinking about it at this point. And I'm not there, and I'm not even close to there. And when I think about it, the only reason that was the way that I planned my life was because that's the way that everybody else planned their life. It's a good life to plan, but it's not necessary. It's not like you have to live that way. And the fact that I'm not right now allows me to do shit like this, where I drive up into the mountains on a Friday. I took today off work and just talk into a camera. I'm having fun. This is cool. This is a good time. Let's see, what else? Build and express your true human self. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I also wrote create, and that makes sense. So I talked with a buddy of mine and talked about like what is the true, if there is one, what is the true deepest human purpose? And he told me he thinks his is to explore. He wants to go out in the world, explore it, conquer it, see what there is to see, do what there is to do, Just keep moving, keep going. And I love that. That's honestly a great answer, but I don't necessarily agree with it for myself. And I was thinking about it, and I came to the conclusion that after, I hear the rattlesnake again. If I die, please call an ambulance. Actually, preferably before I die. Anyways, I thought to myself, if I were to have a purpose, what would it be at this point in my life? Well, I achieved my first purpose, which was to not do what my dad did, so hopefully I can not work as hard. I did that. Then it was build a family, find a wife, get a house, live the American dream. I didn't do that. Not yet, at least. And I've stopped pursuing that. At least, stop trying to make it happen. Anyways. Where was I going with this? Oh, yes. Okay, beyond that, beyond external sources, what do I want to do with myself? I'm at a point where I can do what I want with myself and with my time. And I landed on the idea of creation. And creation is, it's a unique thing when you stop and think about it for a second. I think that creation is a uniquely human experience. There's schools of spiritual thought that believe that, and religious thought that believe that we are just co-creators. You know, think of Christianity. Christianity says we're made in the image of God. God created everything, so in His image, we are co-creators. But it's not just Christianity; it's many different religions where, we have the power to create this reality that we want, along with everybody else. It's like we're all playing a big online server, and we all have the ability to create as much as we want to. So I'm more leaning into my creation arc right now, as one might say. That's a big reason why I chose to come out here and film this. It's just creating something. What do I want to create? I don't know. Let's start with this and see where it goes. Let's just keep creating. Do I want to be internet famous? Not really. But I do want to create and I do want to share. And if that is to be successful, that would lead to internet fame. So that's my self-imposed purpose at this point, is creation. Will I stick to it? Hopefully. We'll see. But through it all, I just want to be able to enjoy the experiences that are provided to me. I mean, it's a gorgeous day out here. I'm having fun talking into this microphone. I'm having fun reviewing the notes that I wrote. And I'm creating. So, anyways, that's where I'm at with all of this. I don't have the answers. But anyways, thanks for listening. Maybe I'll post another one. I do have other ideas. I'm gonna keep thinking of other ideas for videos. But this was just a starter. So, talk to you later.